What's up, guys? This is Young Shy here, back here today to give you guys another video, and this one is going to be a big one. This one is on who should be the MVP of the NBA so far, and this is my prediction. I'm just basically going to give you guys my opinion about it, and then basically I'm going to give you guys pretty much why each person should win it and why each person shouldn't win it. So let's get started. I'm first gonna do it on, I believe, let's go with Kawhi Leonard first. So let's get started. So here's the reason why Kawhi Leonard should win it. Kawhi, easily best defender out of the group of people that I named. Is going to be between Harden, LeBron, Kawhi, and Westbrook. So like I said at the beginning, so easily the best defender out of the group. He's going to finish in the worst top 3 of the defensive player of the year, while others won't even make all defensive team. Most likely, besides, there's a chance LeBron could make it, but pretty much nobody besides Leonard is going to make defensive team and possibly win defensive player of the year. He's averaging 26 points per game on split. He's also of 49% shooting, which is really good. 39% from three-pointer and 90% from free throw line, which is closely easy to 50, 40, and 90. His team is projected to win 58 games out of 34 games over, while teams is basically 36 games over 500. Best record of MVP candidate despite having 0 All-Stars on a team and one other teammate. Only 2 games behind the Warriors in NBA standings, who has 4 All-Stars, and 6 games above the Rockets, who have only James Harden. He's also averaging over 12 points per game. Majority of teammates are past their prime. He lost top 10 player all time, which is then Tim Duncan, and haven't lost a step. He's a big anchor of the defense, and still is giving up the second most points per game in the NBA. Only averaged 2 turnovers, easily the lowest MVP candidates, while the other hand is getting 1.9 steals. So basically not costing off the ball a lot, but also getting a lot of steals. And to think about it too, Kawhi has more steals in a career. Again, this is only for the season, but he has more steals in his career than turnovers, if you guys want to believe it. If you guys want to check it out, you can go to NBA.com and check it out. They have a lot of stats for him, and just seeing that was mind-boggling. And I think he's the only person, or probably the second person, to do this in NBA history. Most points for Spurs since David Robinson MVP year, which is in 1995. And he shot over 50% in 18 of his last 23 games. He had 30 points game this season as well. He had 18, let me see. Yeah, he had 18 30-point games so far, and he shot over 50% he had 23 30-point games, my fault. He had 23 30-point games, and pretty much out of the 18, he shot at least 50%, which is really good. So that's pretty much on Kawhi making and getting, that's his case on getting MVP. His case not to get MVP. Spurs are 4-1 in games that Kawhi Leonard didn't play in due to rest. He has the most proven and best coach out there, out all MVP candidates, and Greg Popovich. Only averages 3.5 assists, while the other MVP candidates are averaging 11.3, which is Ross, 10, which is Harden, and 8.8, which is LeBron. All the other MVP candidates are averaging over 8 assists, and Kawhi does not even have a game where he has over 7 assists this season. 16 games this season with 2 or less assists. Also, while far behind in assists, he is not dominating other aspects. He's last in rebounding out of the 4. He's the 3rd best in points, 26.3 points per game compared to LeBron James' 26. He's 8th on his team in 3-point percentage, which is not a direct correlation to him because he's not a playmaker. Team on averages outscored their opponent by 2.4 points per game, while Kawhi is on the bench, higher than the other MVP candidates. So pretty much when he's on the bench, teams on average outscore. His team basically outscores when he's when he's pretty much on the bench. So meaning the Spurs offense isn't directly impacted when Kawhi is off the bench. That's pretty much due to the system. So that's my views on Kawhi. That's basically all the notes I gathered. Kawhi is a solid defensive player. He's shown it last night against Harden. I'm recording this video from today, which is Tuesday of March 7th. So pretty much Kawhi Leonard is has it now. Basically, he's shown that he can, hang in there and face all the MVP because he's a lockdown defender by far. But Waycross is going to take more than him locking up, and his team don't really need him in certain situations. Yeah, they need him of course in playoffs. Don't get me wrong. They always will need a lockdown defender to lock up the best player, and always somebody to put up points. But they don't necessarily need him to score points, and he's not going to be a huge impact if they lose him on defense. So let's move on now to the next MVP candidate that I'm going to talk about. And this time I'm going to be talking about LeBron James. Now the next video, or the next player that I have up, will be LeBron James. Now this is the reason why I feel LeBron James should win it. LeBron James in his 14th season putting up the best season in his career. He is 42-15 when the team have him in service and despite of injuries, if anything, and they are 0-5 without him. He's one of the best passers of all time, averaging a career high in assists. He's easily the most efficient MVP candidate, 26 points per game, 54% shooting, and 40% three-pointer. He has two starters that have missed major time, which is Kevin Love in 16 games with his knee injury, and J.R. Smith 45 games with his hand injury, and zero flaw. He has zero flaws to his game. Proficient in scoring, playmaking, rebounding, leadership, and making teammates better, and is shown on a nightly basis. Playing major minutes every single night is not affecting his efficiency, according to the sportingcharts.com, which is the site that I usually use as well, or synergy.com. He has the highest plus minus of any non-Warrior despite the fourth best record. Korver went 41% three-point shooting to 49% three-point shooting as soon as he is acquired to the Cavaliers due to LeBron James passing, or that's one of the reasons of it. Derek Williams went to 6 points per game from before the season playing on the Heat to 10 points a game, shooting 54% compared to 39%. His impact on his teammates is unmatched. Cleveland has outscored opponents by 390 points this year with LeBron on the court. That's some very strong candidacy for LeBron James. As I gather my notes, LeBron really has a shot to win, but his reasons why he shouldn't win, or at least what people was arguing why he shouldn't win. Cavaliers had the fourth best record in the league despite only having 3 All-Stars on the team, while the Warriors have 4. Rockets have more wins despite having an inferior roster. The projected record is 57-25. That's a negative 71 percentage currently not hitting expectations. Or basically hitting expectations but not exceeding expectations. Never averaged over 4 turnovers per game prior to the season. He is the 10th lowest player usage rate of his career. So basically this is the 10th lowest out of his seasons. He has missed 5 games where Westbrook and Harden are available to the team every single game. Defense has been lackluster this year, really been career low in free throw percentage in 68, and the 3rd lowest free throw attempts per game of his career. He is an amazing second option in comparison to the other MVP candidates, as he's scoring 25 points per game and 6 assists on 47% shooting. The other MVP candidates don't have the luxury of another All-Star, let alone another elite player like LeBron or Kyrie. Two teammates also average 20 points, which is Kevin Love and Kyrie, and 4 teammates is over 40% shooting and 3-point, which is Kyle Korver, I think Channing Frye, Kyrie, and K Love. So that's pretty much my opinion on LeBron. LeBron case for MVP is more stronger than I feel for his not case. His case is that he basically, when he doesn't play, the team suffers. And it's showing right there on the record. When they don't have him, they 0-5. Now, the reason why LeBron is could have a strong case to not get MVP is because then again, he has superstars on his team. Pretty much with Kyrie and K-Love, even though K-Love is out and JR is out, you still have Kyrie and you still have some help. Pretty much with the other MVPs, Kawhi doesn't really have a true all-star comparing to this season, even though he has all-star players, that people that actually made all-star once or twice in their career. He does have players or this season that did not even make all-star, which is kind of surprising. Besides him, Westbrook is basically leading a team full of role players except for Victor Oladipo, who is pretty much not a role player but an exceeding player who still has potential. Pretty much, and Harden has Eric Gordon and Lou Will, who is not all-stars but can put up points in their own, but he is setting them up pretty nicely. Now, let's move on now to the next topic, which is going to be, or the next player, who's going to be Russell Westbrook. So let's move on to the big dog, which is Russell Westbrook. Russell having a GOAT season, and this is the reason why I feel like he should win MVP. Let's hear me out clearly. Nobody besides Oscar Robertson has been averaging, and I think Russell has more points in this, an unheard of 31 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. He lost arguably the second best player in the NBA and one of the best scorers of all time, and still, which is Kevin Durant, who moved to the Warriors. That has the team 7 games over 500 in the playoff spot. Lakers 14 games under the 500 spot last year, lost Shaq despite having another superstar. He leads the NBA in points per game despite also averaging a double digit of assists. No teammate is shooting over 40% from three-point land. No teammate is over 16 points per game. Terrible team around him in terms of shooting, which is a huge con in today's NBA, especially the player that he is in terms of playmaking and scoring. He is the two out of the 3 best teammates he have each missed at least 10 games. Oladipo is now averaging a career high in field goals and 3-point percentage since going to OKC. He has 47 double-doubles, 30 triple-doubles, and a 50-point triple-double game. He is the second player ever to average a triple-double and first since the 60s since Oscar Robertson. A major clutch performer this year, hitting about 8 clutch shots so far this year in a matter of under 2 minutes under the game. Teams is outscored on average by 3 points when he's off the court. So pretty much when he's off the court, the opponent literally scores three points more than the team or the lineup that's on the court for the Thunder, which is really bad because Russell Westbrook provides so much push for them is that they can't have anything. So here's the reason why Russell shouldn't be the MVP of the season. Russell is the least efficient MVP candidate with the lowest field goal percentage and the lowest 3-point percentage of any MVP candidate. He is second in the league in turnovers per game and is on track to finish second all-time in turnovers for a season. Team is projected to be the 5th seed with a record of 46-36, therefore underachieving in terms of seeding, while MVP candidate has projected lower but has a higher seed. Lowest seed of MVP candidate, easily the worst record of MVP candidate, and history is not on his side in terms of facing the opponent of the respective MVP candidates that faced before him. He is 1-1 against Cleveland, 1-2 against Houston, and 0-2 against San Antonio. 11 games versus the season, he has at least 30 field goals attempted. He is 5-6 in those games. McDermott is currently shooting 13% worse from his 3 games since being traded from Chicago to 6 games in OKC in comparison to Chicago. Taj Gibson is shooting 8% worse from the field in the 6th game with OKC comparison to Chicago. So basically with the new additions, the team is still not getting, or the players that he's surrounded with is not getting better due to his play. The only player that's getting better is Adams and Oladipo. And for that reason, that's the main 2 people that he passes to. And Russell mostly had to take on the bulk of the scoring regardless of who it is. Example tonight. As you can see tonight that he's going off, and I think he has 38 points, maybe eclipsing to 40 against Portland. But yet lost to them tonight due to a good game by Crabbe, Lillard, and McCollum. So showing an example right there, Russell may not get MVP due to that reason, and I believe it because there's a chance that he might not get it. Now let's move to James Harden, who is I'm going to say for last. And then now after I say James Harden on whether he should and why he shouldn't, I'm going to give you my MVP rankings, basically newly updated as it is. So stay tuned. So here goes James Harden. James Harden leads the league in assists per game at 11.3. So my fault on that. That wasn't Russ. Despite no other All-Star teammate, no games this season with at least 7 assists. He has 0 teammates over 17 points per game. He only has 2 over 40% from 3-point land. The team was projected to start at the 6th seed, 45-37 record. They are currently the 3rd seed with 44 and a 20 record. It was a massive overachievement. He's leading teams of 0 All-Stars around him to the 3rd best record in the entire league. He is averaging 29 points per game on 62% true shooting, despite leading the league in assists. The highest true shooting out all MVP candidates between LeBron, Russell Westbrook, and Kawhi Leonard. ESPN NBA player ranking had Harden best teammate at 86th best player in the league heading into the season. Beverly missed 14 games. Capella missed 15 games. Eric Gordon missed 6 games. Nene missed 10 games. Harden has played 37 minutes per game every single game. He has 2 50-point triple-doubles this season, which is an NBA record. He has 50 double-doubles, 15 triple-doubles. He is 2 rebounds away from averaging a triple-double. He has a new coach, lost the second play, which is basically Dwight Howard, despite being for the better, still taking time to adjust to. So that's the case for James Harden, and I agree that mostly James Harden has completely shown that he's a franchise, like a complete franchise player. People thought, yeah, he's a franchise player, and he's going to get you the points, and that's your team. That's basically how you're going to build around him. But he has shown that he can literally carry this team to a distance because they have tremendous amount of talent on the team. Not basically superstar talent or all-star talent, but they have talent enough to surrounding him to make him create, make him play make, and make him average the way he's averaging. And what I basically saw is from the stat line, from what I compared and what I got from my notes, he has 2 rebounds short from averaging a triple-double just like Russell, which is crazy to believe because Russell is averaging, and he has pretty much the lowest efficiency out of all the 4 that I just named. He has the worst efficiency, and James Harden has one of the best efficiencies, if not the second best behind LeBron. That's truly incredible. Now, let's go straight into Harden and why he's not the MVP candidate, or shouldn't be the MVP candidate. He leads the NBA in turnovers with 5.8 turnovers per game, and he's set to break the all-time record and NBA turnovers record. MVP candidate with 0 All-Stars, also who has a better record than the Rockets. GM made acquisition in all season to put shooters around Harden at all times. 1-3 record versus the Spurs. He also has a 0-1 record versus the Cavaliers. 3 teammates with over 153 points made so far. He has 6th highest field goal on the team. He's also had the 5th highest three-pointer percentage. Has arguably the coach of the year and 2 Sixth Men of the Year candidates on his team in Lou Will and Eric Gordon. He has not been a great clutch performer this year, especially in terms of field goals, and he's negative 28% from 3 in the fourth quarter overtime this season. This is from a tweet that I got from some thoughts. So pretty much Harden has shown that he is very careless with the ball. That's 1. 2, it's another MVP candidate, which is Kawhi Leonard, who has no All-Stars and doing better than him. Pretty much the GM made the smart move to acquire shooters that's surrounding him, making Harden a better player. The record between the Spurs is 1-3, and his record against the Cavs is 0-1. He's the only person that he has beaten so far out of the team is OKC, and I believe they're 2-0 against them. And as I said, with a lot of teammates that can shoot threes, basically he has 3 teammates that's over 150 threes per game. Not per game, for the season. And he has arguably the best coach of the year with Mike D'Antoni and 2 Sixth Men of the Year, or it's 2 Sixth Men candidates, which is Eric Gordon and Lou Williams. And he hasn't been a great clutch performer either. He's only shot in 23.3% from the 3-point line from the fourth in overtime. He's also, in terms of field goal, the lowest from each of his seasons so far. So that's pretty much Harden right there in the show. Harden has been really good, and this is actually my favorite to win MVP because of what he's doing with his team, obviously. LeBron probably is going to be my second. Then third will be Russ, and then fourth would be Kawhi, because Russell is putting up historic numbers, but he's not the efficient. LeBron is putting up good numbers, efficient numbers, but the thing is, pretty much it's not leading to the best record, 1, and 2, pretty much he has help with him, and then 3 for Kawhi, the last one is going to be Kawhi. Kawhi basically just not putting up the numbers that MVP like. He's not doing the playmaking abilities, making his team better. He does not make his team better. The Spurs is already better as it is with the system that they have placed in front of him. So pretty much with that, Harden, I feel, should deserve it. Now I'm going to give you guys my MVP power rankings, and that'll be the end of the video. So let's get on straight to the MVP rankings that I have for this week. 2 Sixth Men of the Year candidates on his team in Lou Will and Eric Gordon. He has not been a great clutch performer this year, especially in terms of field goals, and he's negative 28% from 3 in the fourth quarter overtime this season. This is from a tweet that I got from some thoughts. So pretty much Harden has shown that he is very careless with the ball. That's 1. 2, it's another MVP candidate, which is Kawhi Leonard, who has no All-Stars and doing better than him. Pretty much the GM made the smart move to acquire shooters that's surrounding him, making Harden a better player. The record between the Spurs is 1-3, and his record against the Cavs is 0-1. He's the only person that he has beaten so far out of the team is OKC, and I believe they're 2-0 against them. And as I said, with a lot of teammates that can shoot threes, basically he has 3 teammates that's over 150 threes per game. Not per game, for the season. And he has arguably the best coach of the year with Mike D'Antoni and 2 Sixth Men of the Year, or it's 2 Sixth Men candidates, which is Eric Gordon and Lou Williams. And he hasn't been a great clutch performer either. He's only shot in 23.3% from the 3-point line from the fourth in overtime. He's also, in terms of field goal, the lowest from each of his seasons so far. So that's pretty much Harden right there in the show. Harden has been really good, and this is actually my favorite to win MVP because of what he's doing with his team, obviously. LeBron probably is going to be my second. Then third will be Russ, and then 4th would be Kawhi, because Russell is putting up historic numbers, but he's not the efficient. LeBron is putting up good numbers, efficient numbers, but the thing is, pretty much it's not leading to the best record, 1, and 2, pretty much he has help with him, and then 3, for Kawhi, the last one is gonna be Kawhi. Kawhi basically just not putting up the numbers that the MVP like. He's not doing the playmaking abilities, making his team better. He does not make his team better. The Spurs is already better as it is with the system that they have placed in front of him. So pretty much with that, Harden, I feel, should deserve it. Now I'm going to give you guys my MVP power rankings, and that'll be the end of the video. So let's get on straight to the MVP rankings that I have for this week. MVP power rankings for this week, I have Harden number 1. Definitely number 1. I feel like he's proven to be the number 1 case for MVP. His team with no superstars, pretty much having 2 6-man candidates alone. The team is built perfectly for him, and he is having historic numbers. Same as Russell Westbrook, who I'll put number 2, averaging a triple-double, and still moving and trying to push his team to the 4th spot in the West. Then you got LeBron James, number 1 with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and been doing it without Kevin Love and J.R. Smith, 2 starters in the lineup. You got Kawhi Leonard 4th. Kawhi Leonard has been stepping it up and proving that he could be an MVP candidate due to his solid play, both defensively and offensively, and basically one of the best two-way players in the game by far. Isaiah Thomas has been putting the Celtics on his back and basically is the leading scorer, having a surge since I think December, and he's been really putting up numbers. And the Boston Celtics have one of the best records in the league since I think January. John Wall been playing really good and making the Wizards win a lot of games, especially at home. His passing and points production has been really good. Kevin Durant, despite the injury, has dropped down. Kevin Durant, again with injuries, has dropped down, and it doesn't make any more clear point than that. Kevin Durant had a really good season to start off, and proving his case that he could have been MVP, but his injury kind of took him out. DeMar DeRozan is leading the team with the Toronto Raptors without Kyle Lowry, who will not be back until playoff time. So pretty much DeRozan's team, and it's the reason why he has the 8th spot. And I only wrote 8 spots. That's the top 8, and that's my MVP candidates my MVP power rankings for this week. So that is, guys, this is Young Shot, and basically this is my MVP power rankings and pretty much my thoughts on the MVP. And this is basically notes that I've been gathering since the discussion has been made. Not the early season discussion, but pretty much since it started to get more clear and clear who's going to be the front runners for the MVP. Pretty much this is how I was thinking about it. It's just basically James Harden. This is my final thoughts on it. James Harden has been putting up numbers on an efficient rate with no superstars whatsoever. Same thing as Russell, but only thing Harden has been doing it better, or has led to more success than Westbrook. So that's why I put that's why I put Harden over Westbrook. If it was the other way around, Westbrook would have been definitely number 1 MVP candidate, and nobody could disagree or anything. But as far as the other MVP candidate go, LeBron has superstars on his team, but also being more efficient. Kawhi has one of the best records in the league, but behind the Warriors, he has the best record out of all the candidates. The thing is, his team doesn't get any worse when he's off the floor. Actually, they are more better when they're not more better. They're basically somewhat the same when he's off the floor due to the system of Greg Popovich, what he's running. So pretty much that's my opinion on Harden. That's my opinion on MVP, and that's why I think Harden should be number 1. If you guys have any different opinions about it, let me know in the comment section below. Also hit me up on Instagram and Twitter, which I'll do my interactions at. So let me know what you guys think on who should be MVP, and pretty much let me hear you guys' thoughts about the MVP power rankings that I posted on Instagram and on Twitter as well. So if you guys like the video, leave a like and a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. It's Young Shot. I'm out. Peace.